to the very last part of the proposal, part 3. Now, if you can recollect part 1 and part 2, let's go with the sequence. So, part 1, they had a very heated argument, taking over the land and, lots of fights. This is mine, this is not yours. They're trying to prove it to each other that, I have the documents, I'll take you to the court. And this is how Lomov leaves finally, because he got those palpitations and he leaves. And then Chubikov, just mentions about the proposal. And that's the catch. That's where, she says, oh my God, when did this happen? Natalia was shocked. She says, what proposal are you talking about? And then Chubikov, mentions that, oh yes, he had come to propose you. And she's like, oh my God, please call him back. And she wails, she cries, and somehow after having that heated argument and after, driving him away, she tells her father, please get him back for me. I know nothing. I want him back. And the father is like, oh, it is so impossible to be the father of such a grown-up daughter. It's very difficult. And somehow he had no choice left, and so he calls Lomov back. And what happens after that? Let's go ahead. Lomov enters exhausted. My heart's palpitating awfully. My foot's gone to sleep. There's something that keeps pulling in my side. That left side used to keep pulling him. Natalia, forgive us, Ivan Vassilevich. We were all a little heated. I remember now. Oxen Meadows really are yours. Now that she got to know about the proposal, so she's ready to tell him that no, that land, that property is actually yours. My heart's beating awfully. My meadows, my eyebrows are both twitching. He says, of course they are mine. Still those palpitations are on and his eyebrows are both twitching. You give a cause to give a short or a sudden jerking movement of the eyebrows. And Natalia, the meadows are yours. Yes, yours. Do sit down. We were wrong. She's trying to calm him. Says, relax. Those meadows are yours. We were wrong. I did it on principle. Now again, he's starting the whole history. It was out of principle. That land is not worth much. It is worth little to me. But the principle, that was very important. And she's like, yes, the principle, just so. Now let's talk of something else. Let's change the topic. Enough of it. That land is yours. Over and out. The more so I have evidence. My aunt's grandmother gave the land to your father's grandfather, peasants, blah, blah, blah. Again goes the same shot. Again, he's trying to come up with the same thing. And she's like, yes, let that pass. Okay, fine, agreed. Done. I wish I knew how to get him started. Are you going to start shooting soon? Now, she wanted to distract him. She wanted to take him away from that topic to something else so that he just calms down and he just forgets all about it. And so she's asking, when are you going to hunt again? When are you going shooting soon? And he's like, I'm thinking of having a go at the black cock. Now, I want to do that. I want to hunt a black cock. Honored Natalia Spenovna. After the harvest. I will do that, but after the harvesting. Oh, have you heard? Just think what a misfortune I've had. My dog Guess, who you know, has gone lame. See, unfortunately, now his dog's name is Guess. Says, unfortunately, my dog has gone lame. So, it's very difficult to go without the dog. What a pity. Why? I don't know. Must have got his leg twisted or bitten by some other dog. No idea how it happened. My very best dog, to say nothing of the expense. Is that dog really expensive? I gave Mironov 125 rubles for him. Rubles, is the basic monetary unit of Russia. Says, I gave 125 rubles for the same. It was too much, Ivan Vassilevich. You paid a lot for that dog. I think it was very cheap. He's a first-rate dog. Says, oh, 125 is nothing. This dog is amazing. He's a first-rate dog. So it's okay. Papa gave 85 rubles for his Squeezer. Now, they had a dog called Squeezer. Yeah, the Chubikov, Natalia's dad. And Squeezer is heaps better than Guess. Now, if I tell you, Guess is Lomov's dog. Squeezer is Chubikov's dog. Now there is a comparison, and you know what happens when a comparison begins? Even they began their argument again. This line led to another heated argument. And Squeezer is heaps better, is way better than Guess. Our dog is better than yours. Squeezer better than Guess? What an idea. Squeezer better than Guess. He says, oh, no ways. Natalia, of course he's better, of course. Squeezer is young. He may develop a bit, but on points and pedigree, he is better than anything that even Wolchenski has got. Now here she's telling that, look, Squeezer is way better than your Guess. Be it when it comes to points, when it comes to pedigree, he's much more better. And just like we have the Lomovs, we have the Chubikovs, likewise we have the Wolchenitsky. That's also one family. Yeah. So he is better than the dog they had also. Excuse me, Natalia Spenovna, but you forget that he is overshot. And an overshot always means the dog is a bad hunter. What do you mean by an overshot? It is denoting an upper jaw which projects beyond the lower jaw. So basically the lower jaw is here, this is the upper jaw. So it is something which he cannot be a good hunter. Overshot, is he? The first time I hear it. She says, you are saying that he's not an overshot. I've never even seen that. I assure you that his lower jaw is shorter than the upper jaw. That dog is an overshot. Natalia, have you measured? You are telling me this. Have you measured? Yes, he's all right at following, of course. But if you want to get hold of anything, says this dog is good, he will follow you wherever you go. But if you really want him as a hunter to hunt something, he is of no use. In the first place, our Squeezer is a thoroughbred animal, the son of harness and chisels, while there's no getting at the pedigree of your dog at all. He's old and as ugly as a worn-out cab horse. Now here she's just getting so frustrated, and she's telling him, look, Squeezer is a thoroughbred animal. He has a good record of ancestors. He's the son of harness and chisel. Whereas your dog doesn't have any line of ancestors only. You don't even know from where your dog has come. There is no such, line of ancestors behind him. So he means nothing. He's old, he's ugly, and he's worn out cab horse. He is a totally drained out character. Lomov, he is old. But I wouldn't take 5 Squeezers for him. Says, I agree. Guess is old. But instead of 1 Guess, even if you give me 5 Squeezers, I will not agree. Why? How can you? Guess is a dog. As for Squeezer, well, it's too funny to argue. So Guess is a dog, but Squeezer, let me not even argue over it. Anybody you like has a dog as good as Squeezer. You may find them under every bush almost. Says the moment you see people with Squeezer, they are so proud of those dogs. 25 rubles would be a handsome price to pay for him. You have to pay 25 rubles. 25 rubles would be a handsome price to pay for that dog. Natalia says, there's some demon of contradiction in you today, Ivan Vasilovich. Says everything you are going opposing. You are saying your dog is better. You are saying the land is yours. You are contradicting everything. First you pretend that the meadows are yours. Now that Guess is better than Squeezer. I don't like people who don't say what they mean, because you know perfectly well that Squeezer is 100 times better than your silly Guess. Why do you want to say he isn't? She says, why don't you just agree to it? You know the fact that Squeezer is way better than Guess. Then what is wrong with you? Why are you, just going on saying something that you don't mean? I mean, it is not the fact. You are simply giving a wrong judgment today. I see, Natalia Spenovna, that you consider me either blind or a fool. You must realize that Squeezer is overshot. Says, you know what, do you consider me blind or a fool? I know Squeezer is overshot. His upper jaw is, outside. The lower jaw is shorter than the upper jaw. He cannot grab anything. Natalia, it's not true. Lomov, he is. Natalia does not agree. It's not true. Lomov, why shout, madam? He's telling her, why are you shouting? Why talk rot? She's saying, if I am shouting, then why are you talking rot? Why are you talking nonsense? It's awful. It's time your guest was shot and you compare him with Squeezer. She's saying, oh God, I wish I can just shoot your guess. Excuse me, I cannot continue this discussion. My heart is palpitating. Says, now I cannot continue this nonsense. I've noticed that those hunters argue most who know least. Says, you are a hunter, you know nothing. That is why you are just arguing. And he's like, madam, please be silent. My heart is going to pieces. Shut up. He says, look, I cannot take any more stress. So you stop it. My heart is going to pieces. I shan't shut up until you acknowledge that Squeezer is 100 times better than your guess. I will not stop shouting, she says. She says, look, you better admit, you better confess that my Squeezer is better than your guess. 100 times worse. Now he's so fed up. He's like 100 times worse. Be hanged to your Squeezer. His head, eyes, shoulder says your dog is definitely not a good one. He's worse than guess. There's no need to hang your silly guess. He's half dead already. Says don't even bother to hang your dog. He's already half dead. He's very old already. Shut up. My heart's bursting. He literally cries. Now he cannot take the pain there. He's literally crying now. I shan't shut up, entered Shubikov. Now the whole heated argument again starts, screaming, shouting, they are not ready to come to a midpoint. And finally the father of Natalia enters. What's the matter now? He says, now I left you all so that you could talk about your proposal. Now what are you guys discussing on? Papa, tell us truly, which is the better dog, our Squeezer or his guess? Stephen Spenovich, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your Squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no? Now, before the father could answer Natalia's question, Lomov asks him, says, look, forget everything. You just tell me one thing, whether yes or no, whether your dog is an overshot or not. And suppose he is. Okay, so if he is, how does it matter? He is the best dog in the district for all that and so on. He says, maybe it is, but how does that matter? He is the best dog in the district. But isn't my guess better? Really? Now? Says, don't you think my guess is way better than yours? Don't excite yourself, says Chibikov. My precious one, allow me. Your guess certainly has his good points. Says, okay, he is good his own way. He is purebred, firm on his feet, has well-sprung ribs and all that. But my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has 2 defects. Now here he first gave him the positive points. He says, yes, he is definitely purebred, he's firm on his feet, he has well-sprung ribs and all that. But there are 2 defects in him, and what are they? He's old and he's short in the muzzle. He's old, that they already spoke before. Now muzzle, the projecting part of the face including the nose and the mouth of an animal. So this part, that's the muzzle. So he says he's old and he's short. His muzzle is very short. Lomov, excuse me, my heart, let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Marinsinski hunt, my guess ran neck and neck with the Count's dog while your Squeezer was left a whole worst behind. He says, okay, if that's what you're trying to tell me, let's talk about a fact. What was the fact? He says, when you had the Marinsinski hunt, they were hunting, okay? My guess, my dog had gone neck to neck with the Count's dog. Now, Count here is the person with a higher rank. So, with his dog, my dog was neck to neck. It was absolutely going at the same speed, same pace. While your dog, it was, about 1.1 kilometer behind. My dog was right ahead. Shubikov, he got left behind. Why? Because the Count's whipper in hit him with his whip. He says, there was a reason why that happened. The Count's whipper-in, that means his assistant, when they go for hunting, his assistant had hit him with the whip. That is why he had been lagging behind. Otherwise, he was perfect. And with good reason. The dogs are running after a fox. When Squeezer goes and starts worrying a sheep, he says there they were chasing a fox. All the dogs were running after the fox. Whereas Squeezer starts going and bothering a sheep. What is that? Chibikov, it's not true. My dear fellow, I'm very liable to lose my temper and so. Just because of that, let's stop arguing. He says, now I'm going to lose my temper. So just let's stop this nonsense. Let's stop arguing. You started because everybody is always jealous of everybody else's dogs. It's the case. Everyone is jealous of the other people's dog. That's why you are arguing. Yes, we are all like that. You too, sir, aren't blameless. You no sooner begin with this, that and the other and all that. I remember everything. And Lomov says, I remember too. You keep on saying, you keep on arguing. I remember everything too. I remember too? What do you remember? Lomov, my heart, my foot's gone to sleep. I can't. Now again, he's getting those palpitations. In fact, they were going on during the discussion. Natalia, my heart. What sort of a hunter are you? You ought to go and lie on the kitchen oven and catch black beetles, not go after foxes, my heart. Saying, my heart? What nonsense. You are not even a good hunter. You'd rather stay on the oven and you start catching black beetles instead of chasing a fox. You're not even good a hunter. Chibukov, yes, really. What sort of a hunter are you anyways? You ought to sit at home with your palpitations and not go tracking animals. He says you deserve to be at home only. The palpitations that you get, you're not even supposed to go. Stay at home. That's way better for you instead of tracking animals. You could go hunting, but you only go to argue with people and interfere with their dogs and so on. He says, you know what? You could go hunting, but what? But you only go to argue with people, right? And interfere with their dogs and so on. Let's change the subject in case I lose my temper. He says, enough. Now I'll lose my temper, so let's change the topic. You are not a hunter at all anyway. Now he's telling him to stop. Again, he's only, telling him. Again, he's only instigating. You are definitely not a hunter. Now you think Lomov will be quiet? Lomov, and are you a hunter? You only go hunting to get in with the Count and to intrigue. Oh my heart, you are an intriguer. He says, you know what? Do you think you're a hunter? He's telling Chubikov. You only go hunting to get in with the Count. You only want to go with those, high socially ranked people. You want to just go there and be curious and make your ways out there. You are an intriguer. What? I am an intriguer? Shut up. Lomov, intriguer. He says, boy, pup, old rat, Jesuit. They start calling each other names. Chibikov, shut up or I'll shoot you like a partridge, you fool. What's a partridge? It's a medium-sized non-migratory bird. So it just bees there always. It does not migrate. So he says, I'll shoot you down like that bird. Everybody knows that. Oh my heart, your late wife used to beat you. My feet, temples, sparks, I fall, I fall. Now he's going on shouting. He's calling names. And at the same time, he's going on telling him again, he's blaming him, he's accusing him. He's telling him, your late wife used to beat you. I know that, Chubukov. And you are under the slipper of your housekeeper. They are just getting bad to worse, trying to abuse and degrade each other. Lomov, there, my heart's burst. My shoulders come off. Where is my shoulder? I die. He falls into an armchair. A doctor. He is giving up. He says, now it's over. My shoulder, he doesn't even realize my shoulders are there, not there. He just falls into the armchair and he's asking to call for a doctor. Boy, milksop, fool, I'm sick. Now Chubikov is frustrated. He's so irritated. What sort of a hunter are you? You now imagine that fellow has fallen on the armchair and Natalia is still going on. Both are so frustrated. Says, what sort of a hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. She's telling her father, Papa, what's the matter with him? Papa, look, Papa, Ivan Vassilevich, he's dead. Suddenly she's realized he's not moving. He's in the armchair, not moving at all. I'm sick, I can't breathe, air. He's like, frustrated, and he's spoken so much that he's running short of air. He's, breathless. Natalia, he's dead. She pulls Lomov's sleeve. She tries to pull his sleeves. Ivan Vassilevich, she's calling him. Ivan Vassilevich, what have you done to me? He's dead, she's telling her father. Falls into an armchair. A doctor, doctor, and she's screaming over there. Hysterics. Suddenly Chubukov, oh, what is it? What's the matter? Natalia, he's dead. He's dead. Chubukov, who's dead? And he's in his own thing. He was also breathless. He gained his senses, and then he's realizing what is happening around. He's saying, who's dead? Looks at Lomov. So he is. My word. Water, a doctor. He lifts a tumbler to Lomov's mouth. He takes a tumbler of water and puts it in near his mouth. Drink this. No, he doesn't drink. It means he's dead and all that. I'm the most unhappy of men. Why don't I put the bullet into my brain? He's saying, what have I done? Oh my God, I should shoot myself. Why haven't I cut my throat yet? What am I waiting for? Give me a knife. Give me a pistol. And while he's doing all that, while he's reacting, because Lomov is not moving, he sort of, considered him dead. There only Lomov moves. He moves a bit. He seems to be coming round. Drink some water. That's right. He's saying, oh, he's fine. He's moving. And he quickly gives him some water to drink. I see stars, mist. Where am I? Now he is gaining his consciousness and he's just looking around. Where am I? Chubukov, hurry up and get married. Imagine. Just look at the situation. You feel like laughing. There, the guy has just regained his consciousness and Chubukov is, oh, yeah, okay, now first you get married. Because that was way more important than anything else. Well, to the devil with you. She's willing, says, oh, the devil be with you. My daughter is willing to marry you. Go ahead. He puts Lomov's hand into his daughter's. She's willing and all that. I give you my blessing and so on. Only leave me in peace. Says, both of you get married. Just go away and leave me in peace. I am fed up. Lomov getting up. What? To whom? He doesn't even know what's happening and this fellow is telling him, get married, get married. Chubukov, she's willing. Well, kiss and be damned to you. Says, just go ahead, kiss her and she's yours. Damned is, when you're getting really angry and frustrated, you're showing anger and frustration. This is when you do that. You say, damned. Natalia wails. She's happy and sort of, oh, he's alive. Yes, yes, I'm willing. Chubukov kiss each other. That's their tradition. That's their culture. Lomov, kiss whom? And they kiss. Very nice too. Excuse me, what's it all about? He still doesn't know what's happening. Oh, now I understand. My heart stars. I'm happy. Natalia Spinovna kisses her hand. My foot's gone to sleep. Now he's happy. He's excited. So again, his foot has gone to sleep. Oh my God. I'm happy too. She says, oh, I'm so happy. Chubukov, what a weight off my shoulders. Oof. Says, hush. Finally, this girl gets married and there's big burden off my head, off my shoulder. But still you will admit now that guess is worse than squeezer. And see the stupidity. I mean, what do you call this? After doing everything, she's telling him, oh, please admit still that guess is worse than squeezer. Lomov, no, he's better. Natalia, he's worse. Chubukov, well, that's a way to start your family bliss. Have some champagne. He says, stop this. You guys are starting a family. Let's celebrate. Let's have champagne. Lomov, he's better. They don't stop. Who's the he? Guess. Natalia, worse, worse, worse. Still the argument doesn't stop. In between the argument, the marriage also takes place. Chubukov trying to shout her down. Champagne, champagne. That's celebration. Says, just cut it down. Just relax, cool down. Please, let's enjoy, let's celebrate. You are starting your family. Enough of everything, over and out. Just let's celebrate. It was more of a moment to celebrate rather than to argue. What do you think? Life is all about discussions, arguments? Do you think that really works wonders? I have something for you. The aim of argument or of discussion should not be victory. It should be progress. Very well put up by Joseph Joubert. He says, don't argue, don't do discussions to win. Do it for progressing. That's how you progress in life. Don't sit and really argue, and the fights, they land up in such situations, such odd situations, which is really not supposed to be the case. It should happen, discussions should happen. Just like he says, arguments should happen. But what should the aim be? What should the motive be? It should be progress. It should not be that I am better than you, or I am right and you are wrong. That should not be the case. So I hope you really enjoyed the chapter. I hope you enjoyed this journey with us. For more videos, keep watching and keep learning.